guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary, high school, and recent graduate. I help you implement systems and strategies in order to overcome the chaos and cultivate simplicity in your home and homeschool. I'm really excited because I just purchased the new 5-year diary from Sterling Inc. I think they were just maybe launched last week, and mine came today. Pretty quick shipping, which was very different than the Common Planner. I am really excited about this. So I'm going to open up this box and see what we have. Okay guys, so the first thing is this little envelope, which has some beautiful stickers and a little card. And you can scan the code for unique hand-painted stickers. I think that's to get on her email list. I was so intrigued by the new 5-year diary. I purchased 3 last year. In fact, I should grab those. Sorry, I'm just starting to unbox things. This is a cute little canvas bag. It says Sterling Inc. and these are stamps that go to 2033 that you can use in this 5-year diary if you want. I had a bunch of these because I did buy 3 5-year diaries last year, or I think right at the end of 2024 or the start of 2025. I think this is to like help you stamp down the stamp. I don't know anything about stamps, guys, sorry. And there is this beautiful card here that is really pretty. And it says ways to use your planner. This also came with the Common Planner, so I haven't even scanned this code yet, but I'm interested to do that, especially as I go into December, because December is such a new planner setup month for me. So I am really excited to kind of get some new ideas. It does say 5-year diary on the side, and this box is different. It's like a dark brown color instead of the black that it normally is, or at least the ones that I've seen. I got the 5-year B6 oat with gold edging, and it is shrink wrapped in here. Okay, so let me get this out of the plastic. Okay guys, so this is the new 5-year diary. It is hardcover, and I believe it has different paper than the Tomoe River paper. It does say 5-year diary on the side, it says 5-year diary on the back, and it says designed by Sterling Inc. There is an elastic enclosure. I did get the gold edging because I absolutely love it. I have not ever used a 5-year diary for myself, but last year, I think it was at the end of 2024, I purchased 3 different 5-year diaries. This is the old ones that Sterling Inc. carried, one for each of my kids. And so I have, I think this is camel or caramel. I'm not sure what the cover choice is. I don't think she has these in stock anymore. This is the mist cover, and then this is the forest green, which might just be green. I'm unsure on the color choices, but these are all soft cover and have the Tomoe River paper. Now, you will notice it's totally blank, and that's because I started to use these and I have not really done a good job of actually using these. Essentially what I wanted to do was come in and write every day to my kids and then have space in the back for longer reflections or notes about life and things like that. And I wish that I had come up with this idea when my kids were little. I did kind of back, way back, when I first started using Erin Condren planners. I did get a vertical planner specifically for memory keeping, and because there were the 3 boxes in the vertical planner, I got little stickers made that said Emma, Jack, and Lucy, and I would just write a little bit about each of the kids each day. And I did that a couple of years, I think, maybe 3 years, and I do have those tucked away in a bin somewhere. But I really wanted to get these and start focusing more on memory keeping in 2025, and I've failed miserably. I have not done it at all, except I think I may have mentioned this at some point, that I think I maybe have done about 30 days out of the entire year, and so that's not ideal. And of course Emma is graduated now, and that was what originally prompted me for wanting to do that, but here we are. These are B6 size, these soft cover ones, and this is also B6 size. I don't know if you can really tell. It's a little bit larger with the hardcover version, but this is the oat, and it's like a linen cover. It's very soft. It reminds me of the Power Sheets feeling, and it does have that different paper. Let me look that up. So this is the Cosmo Air paper, which I think I said already, but I wanted to double check and make sure that's what it was actually called. And if you are new to my channel, I do not know a ton about paper. I've been in Erin Condren planners since 2013. And so this past couple of years is the first time that I've branched out farther than Erin Condren with some new planner companies, primarily Sterling Ink with this Tomoe River paper. I have been using their daily planner and also the B5 Common Planner for my weekly and monthly personal planning, as well as common placing, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm unsure what I'm doing in 2026. I have purchased a common planner for 2026, but I change my mind too much. So I'm interested to see what this paper is like. It does feel different than the Tomoe River paper. It's much thicker. And one of the reasons that I'm struggling a little bit with figuring out next year is that I am kind of missing that really thick Erin Condren paper. I mean, it would be absolutely impossible to have all of the pages that are in this common planner in an EC planner because the paper is way too thick. But when I'm journaling, the feel of the paper, while it's very nice to write on this paper, I do miss that thick paper, the tooth and the EC paper. This is very smooth paper. So I was really interested to see what this Cosmo Air paper is like. So it says you have like this opening couple of pages. It says 5-year diary. This is supposed to lay flat. Obviously this is the first couple of pages, so probably will not lay flat right off. So you have some blank pages, and they do immediately start to be numbered right at the start. So it looks like all of the pages are numbered, and I like that quite a bit. So you could use this, I guess, as an index, or maybe just for some pictures. So you have 6 pages before January starts. So essentially you could have 1 page per year as kind of an introduction, and then each month, I guess, will have its own intro page if there's something more significant that you would like to write down. And then it moves right into the dated pages. And they're dated in the fact that it says January 1st, January 2nd, etc., but it doesn't have the year. And you could divide this however you want. There are the little dots at the top that you can draw a line right down the middle and have it be a 10-year diary, or maybe you do memories on one side and current events or weather or some other particular thing that you want to keep track of on the other side. You really have pretty much unlimited options. So I really like the feel of this paper. It is definitely thicker. So I'm interested to see how it will write. And let's see, at the end of the month, you have kind of another just general January page. So maybe you can start with how you hope the month is going to go, or maybe some goals or something you're excited about, and then kind of a recap of the previous month. And then you move right into the next month. And again, you have that monthly overview page, and then you move into your daily pages. And I did see somebody ask if this had the 29th, and it does have the 29th. It doesn't have 5 years of the 29th because the 29th will just be one of the years. But again, you can divide this section if you want to use it for 10 years, for instance. And essentially that is how it goes. There is a little mark on the side for the different months. So you have that. And then at the back, you have about 16 pages, I guess, blank pages at the end of this book, which is significantly less than the other 5-year diaries. So the other 5-year diaries do not have that month marking on the side, and the old ones have 120 blank pages at the end, and that is because of the Tomoe River paper being so thin, whereas this Cosmo paper is thicker, so you do lose some notes pages just to make it all fit well. And then once you get to the back, you do have a little pocket right here. It's actually a quite large pocket, which is really nice. And then you have this elastic enclosure, which I think they call it an invisible one. So you could just put it on the inside so you don't see it on the outside, or you can keep it on the outside. This can hold everything together for you. I really like this. I'm excited to start using it. I don't think I'm going to wait. One of the things that I do is well, okay, it doesn't lay quite flat. I think you're gonna have to, once you push it down, it does lay flat. So one thing that I do is that I have a one positive thought for the day that I have been doing since May of last year, I think. And what I had been doing before I moved into the Common Planner was using the lined page at the beginning of each month in the Erin Condren planner and using that for my one positive thought. There wasn't as much space on that 7x9 lined page. There wasn't enough lines for one every day. So the first few days of the month and the last few days of the month kind of were on one line, and I would just kind of separate it. But in the Common Planner, I can do 2 lines for every day of the month in the B5 size. So that is really nice. I think I want to continue doing that in here, but then just have another sort of personal reflection as well as current events or other like weather related things or gardening things in here. I thought that that would be fun. I'm unsure, but I'm thinking that I want to start it pretty much immediately, or maybe not in November, but in December, once we break from homeschool. I just think that that would be fun, but we will see. There are 2 ribbon bookmarks. One is kind of a light, creamy tan, and then one is like a darker tan color. And they do have this in B6 and A5 size, and they have it in this oak color as well as a cover that is kind of similar to this one. Is it called Charcoal? It's a little bit darker, I think, but it's that same linen feel cover. And they do have plastic covers to go over this. I don't really like that. I may regret that because this oak color probably will eventually have fingerprints or ink splotches or something, but I don't necessarily need my stuff to look pristine. I would like it to stay nice, but I do try to keep things pretty nice. They live on my shelves. It's not something that I'm taking out and about. So I am really excited to try this out. And I was thinking that I would do maybe a little bit of a pen test. I don't know how that will work. Let's see. I don't think I want to go to the very last page because I don't know, this last page feels a little bit thicker. Maybe they're the same, but I'm unsure. So I'm going to use page 411 for kind of a quick pen test, just to see how things look. I'm going to use my general color coding that I have been using. I don't think that I would necessarily do any color coding in here because I think I would just use a black pen or just any pen, but you know, why not try and draw some different things in here. So first I will do the new EC dual tip markers. I don't do anything with fountain pens because my handwriting is not that nice, and I think it would be too stressful for me to actually use a fountain pen. I mean, I might at some point in the future do that. These are just a fine tip and a medium tip on these EC markers, and I usually use these for goal setting. They're not necessarily super wet, and all of these work great on the EC paper. This actually feels really nice to write on. These are the old dual tip markers, so I don't even know why I am using these because you can't buy them anymore. Actually, you might be able to purchase them on Amazon. It does, and actually, yeah, it does smudge. I can see how wet it is when I'm drawing on them. Then some highlighters. These are the highlighters that I use in my daily planning to time block my days. Probably could have written that down. I hate these covers. Sorry guys, this is completely an aside. Sometimes if you do not put these in the exact right way, they get caught on the little end thing in here and split. And I just did that with this highlighter. So that's a bummer, but it is what it is. So I guess one of the things is that they smudge. So you have to kind of let them dry a little bit. I don't know if it would be every single pen or if it's just my EC pens, but I can kind of see where they are still a little wet on the page. This is a Sharpie pen, which I never use for pen testing. It would go right through this Tomoe River paper, I think. Maybe it wouldn't, but I haven't tried it. This is a gel pen from Passionate Penny Pincher, and they do write really nice. However, oh, these are very wet. Yeah, so they go right through the Tomoe River paper, so I do not use them. This is my Micron, and honestly, I probably should have been writing these. These are the Advent pens from the Daily Grace Co., which I also really like. And these are really nice. Oh gosh, those, okay. So I don't usually do like a smear test because I don't usually have an issue with writing in my planners, but I do notice that the ink sits on top of this paper. I never really considered that when I did my pen test in here. I didn't think that it really sat, I mean, I think maybe it does sit on top, but I didn't think to try and smudge it, but this, I can see that it's still wet, so just keep that in mind for this paper. They all have a little bit of shadowing, but honestly, it's not that bad, and nothing, not even the Sharpie pen came through. So there's no bleed through, which is really nice. I prefer this a lot more than this. And this paper was not a great batch for the Tomoe River paper. This was the academic year Sterling Ink planners. And then this was this year's. And see, here's the Passionate Penny Pincher gel pen. Kind of, it's not really bleeding through, but it is kind of a little bit. Nothing actually transferred to the other page, but it's a little bit darker shadowing in this Tomoe River paper. And I don't think I have any EC pages that are pen test pages that I could show you, but that EC paper, there's no shadowing or anything. You can pretty much use any pen with no issues. So I really do like this paper, but I am definitely going to have to remember that this is going to stay wet. And even just shutting the paper, there's a little bit of transfer from when I shut it to this side. So that's something to keep in mind, but overall, no bleed through. And while there is a little bit of shadowing, it's not bad. And with the Micron, you can barely see it. So I will most likely be using this to write in these pages. So this is my quick little review of the new 5-year diary from Sterling Ink. If you purchase this, I'd love to hear what you're going to use it for. Again, like I said, I purchased these last year specifically to use for my kids, to kind of write notes to them and memories from particular days and, you know, add some pictures and stuff. I haven't done that yet, but I am hoping that 2026 is the year that I can really start, or even in December. I just need to figure out when I can do that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're looking for more help and encouragement around home and homeschool and goals, I would love for you to come check out my membership community. That link is always in the description box. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.